Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Data with Khan. Today, the day third of the Power BI workshops. We are going to discuss more things about the Power BI and their decks and their services. What kind of the functions are available in the Power BI? Well, how to see to it that how the functional of the Power BI is going to be happen. So obviously, with the different data sets, we are going to practice. So just follow it. If you are the first time visitor of my YouTube channel, do the subscribe, do like and share with your communities. And guys, take one thing about, like, I will create a different videos on a different topics. So just a humble request, if you have any queries regarding any topics, you can comments in my YouTube video, so that according to that I will plan and I can make a video on that respective topic, so that you can follow uh, the same things. I'm planning to move ahead with the one Tableau video as well, or Tableau a workshop video. So those who are interested, just subscribe it, share with your communities, and those who are in a need to learn from the scratch of the Power BI, Tableau, or any particular data analytics tools, just follow me. Definitely, you will get a good experience at this particular channel, Data with Can. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Enjoy the workshops. Take care. Have a nice day and happy learning. Okay, very good morning to all present in the session. To less people still join, but let's we have to finish this particular part. So let's I have to share my screen first of all. So in the last sessions, we were discuss some points of the Power BI. That's already according to the given of the curriculums by the IDEMI. So the Excel versus Power BI versus Tableau, importance of the Microsoft Power BI in industry, introductions to Microsoft Power BI, that's cleaning, modeling, visualizations, and the publish as well. Then on the base two, we saw about like the simple chart in Microsoft Power BI. We saw the different charts. Then we saw some append queries in Power Query editors, how we can apply the append. And later on, that we utilize and we saw about one more thing that is very important about the merge. Merge is a very important part. Merge, we saw about like at least one condition should be important to uh, merging about the two column merge two tables, like we saw the different examples as well. So anyway, let's we have to move ahead with the third day. Welcome to all in the Power BI workshop sessions, day three. Myself, Dr. Masuddin Khan, I'm going to continue with this particular part. So if there is anything, any questions, queries in your mind, so just let me know. So this is about, so so as a new Power BI, those who are thinking like I'm a new person who is looking over the Power BI. So obviously, the first of all things I will always suggest I get some data. So the data is very important. If you have a data, obviously you can deal anything and you can perform a lot of operations about it as well. So I can go ahead and just perform about some operations here, like the third day sessions. We'll have to see some like way to connect data or to collect data as well. So let's we can move ahead and just perform some task here so that we can get about the data from the different parameters. So just again, let's we can move ahead. Connected with the two device. So actually the thing is problem is, so let's the connect getting the data in the Power BI about like this that's the get data in Power BI. So obviously we are not here about the Excel and everywhere. So first of all, that's home. I can go ahead with this particular thing. So already I shown about this particular thing. So this is my Power BI. Obviously you've seen about different things here. This is a page of that's where DAX queries will be saved into your model. So that DAX query part obviously will learn this particular. This is a table view. This is a report view. This is a model view. Now the get data, that's already this part is I covered in the first session as well. Suppose those who are looking with this data to connect with this particular server or something like it more, if I will go ahead about here, you can see this particular part all in this different parts. You have to go ahead and collect it and connect with your data sets. So database, those who are talking about the database. So obviously the database is very important SQL Server database if you are looking to connect with the data. So obviously here we required you also enter port number, example server name, that's port number. This is a database is optional, and you can go ahead direct query or the import. So once you click it, obviously you can reach and perform that operations as well. So please remember it. This is a SQL Server database is very important. We have to always connect with this particular part. Excel workbook data sets is as well. That's already few data set already I shared with you. So just like Excel workbooks, if you remember it or not, that's I shared all of you a data sets here about uh, what was the data or already I saved it. So I can go ahead with this particular ETL1. So I'm coming with this my ETL1 again. So you can see that it's totally opening here. So just we have to wait a little bit some time. So hope everyone getting the idea about like how we can go ahead and perform the operations. So this is a very important part we are looking here. I'm looking, go ahead here. Just a second. So this is something different things we already covered it. So already we draw this different charts here, and we are looking to go ahead with this some more Power Query here. So you can see that this is your data set. I'm looking to go ahead and talk to you about like this is an important part that is a conditional columns in Power Query, and then we'll go ahead with this language in Power Query. So please take a note. These two things are very important part. How to go ahead in a Power Query? Anyone can guide me? As in the last session, I clearly explained it. Anyone is there who can guide me about like how I can go ahead with this uh,
We
part?
can transform the data.
Okay, we can transform the data. So obviously we can go ahead and transform your data here. So it's, I think 2 times I just did a click, refresh it first of all. So this is my data set. You can see that this is a ETL1. This is your Power Query, and obviously Power Query is having a lot of functions here. With that particular part, we are going to perform this lot of operations so that we can reach and we can perform our operation as well. So Let's see how to work on the conditional columns. It's very, very important part. We'll have to move ahead about this particular part. So that's conditional columns. I'm looking for the one column in Power BI or the Power Query editors. We'll have to perform it. So the step by step, please follow it. Or we can say that if else conditions, like those who are already familiar with the data analytics in Pythons or that particular stuffs, they aware it like if else. If else is very common conditions. We always take if we are going to select this, either this or else. So similarly, the if else conditions we have to follow here in the Power BI as well. Same things in Excel is you aware it. So without writing a code, without anything. So you can see that. So I'm just going to show you about conditional column for the one columns. So just see to it that uh, you can take any two columns. I can take two columns about here. First of all, like I'm just taking about this profit per orders with the order regions. These two columns, you can just see to it that I selected it. So just try to understand what I want to go ahead and perform it. So first of all, I can write here. I'm taking on Excel sheet here. First of all, so that you will get a better understanding. Because the problem will come says on what conditions I've taken. So I can take as the conditions about here, two, three conditions here on my Excel. For example, this is not required every time that we have to use the Excel. Okay, this is just for your understanding point of purpose. I'm using the Excel. Now, for example, in the pre-profit per orders, I can take as the order about like this particular part as the can take any value. It's totally up to about like 100. 100 I can consider is uh, or not 100. I can come as the okay, greater than 100. I can consider is the profit per order, or I can first of all write it. I can write here about this less than low profit. Sorry, what's written less than 100. You can say that loss, or instead of 100, we can write as the less than zero. We can write as the loss. And here we can write as the greater than zero, write as the profit. These two conditions according to this profit per orders columns. So, but if it is between about like this, also one more conditions I can give it. So that will be a better way. So I can take it here, this particular part. Say that, but then I can say that 50, less than 50, I can say that less profit or the low profit I can write, for example. I can write about the between. Sorry, why it's not showing me profit. It's low profit. I can take it. One more thing is between and the higher profit or greater than. That's I can write as the higher profit conditions. So what will be the between conditions? Anyone? Like what will be the average? Anyone can come with this particular part because or I can take as the instead of this particular 51, let's so that we will get the idea as it is. So what should I write here for the average profit? Anyone, any guesses?
Greater than equal to 25.
Average profit, first of all. What? Or the value? uh, when the value lies between,
25 to 30, like.
should I write it here about this? Or let's I can give one more better understanding about 100. So what will be the average? So average I can write as 52. That is the basic or easiest way you can understand it about this. This is certain three conditions I set up here. Just try to understand it. So button clicks, I can perform this because in Excel we have to perform a lot of things. We have to write it when this conditional columns. So this is just for your understanding. I written it. So now I'm coming here with the Power Query. Please take a note of that. So it's taking any particular two columns or order quantity or any two columns. I'm just selecting here two columns. Select it. So this is my Power Query. So there is a new source. You can, if you have any data sets, you can, so you can take any data sets from that particular part. It's a very easy part. Please take a note. If a new source you are taking from a new data set, so you are required sometimes like you have to, you can take this data set as well instead of opening way from the Power BI. But already my data is open here. So there is option. You can see that add a columns. So add a columns is there, but in add a columns, there is a lot of things is given about like this particular part as this. So just see with this particular part. Go ahead with the conditional columns. You can see that conditional column is there. So I just come here about like this particular as the conditional columns. We'll have to see that conditional columns. You can give any name. So I can give this name as the profit status. Profit status. I'm just giving the name. Try to select it. If you can see to it that if. Okay, so I as well that's profit per order. I will look, go ahead. You can see to it that as I told about three conditions here, you can see to it that less than 50, greater than, or in between. So you can see that does not equal is less than. Suppose if less than, I can consider it. Okay. A lot of operations, operators, options you will get. For example, I will write here about like less than is a 50. That's why I just use the Excel. It's not about like, so I can write about these as the low profit. Got it? So if you need more conditions, you can go ahead, more conditions. Again, I'm taking as a profit per orders is greater than, and is greater than I set the condition here. You can see that greater than 100. So that's high. So that's I can take as the 100. So here I can give as the high profit. See that it's a very easy, just click and button. You are getting. So better I can take is this less than or equal. That will be greater less than or equal to. It's greater than or equal to. So the 100 will come also in a pictures. So this is, I can write it. So this is if condition is if else if, but the last one is also is this about like average profit. So I can write here the average profit. You can see that and follow the steps. It's very easy. So if more clause required it, more things required it, you can perform the more options or more operations like multiple, because if you can see that in your data about profit per order, there is a lot of values are they were given. But just for the consideration and for the understanding point of view, I just taken it. And if you suppose if this is wrong, so you can just go ahead and delete it as it is. If this particular thing is required up, so move up, you can go ahead with this move up as well. So profit status, this is a new column name we are taking here about this particular. So just see to it that when I'm going to click it, what will be happen? Just see to it that when I click it, okay, you can see that. So this is the average profit. This is a low profit. This is a, or you can see that all the things will come as in three format. Just try to understand. This is a very nice work of these Power Query editors. Even you can use in the Excel as well, this Power Query editor. Just like click and button services, you no need to write any particular, uh, what I can say that code or any particular script, and you are getting the conditional column. So just see to it that how it's going to be possible, how we can perform it. You can try at your end as well. So this is average profits. Suppose only high profit value you need it. So you can see that only high profit value you can calculate it. It's a very easy and very nice. So just remember it. That's this particular operations, low profit, average profit, all the things if you require, so you can keep it. So this is this Excel I just open for the understanding point. This is not required for this to doing this particular task. So please take a note. Hope everyone understand it, or still anyone having anything. So from your end, it's not working. So just let me, I'm going slowly, slowly so that all can follow the steps. So hope it's working properly from your end as well. Anyone is there who is feeling difficulties while getting these conditional columns, or you are smoothly, you are able to perform? Anyone? At least communicate me that you
So
are able to.
I'm trying at my end. Just allow me some
Yeah,
more
yeah.
time so that I could
Please try it,
confirm
please.
you.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, yeah. Please try it. It's important that you should try it at your end as well. I request all the candidates and all the audience, please try it at your end so that it will be a good for you as well. That's you are able to create about this.
Sir, can you go back to the conditions, sir? List of conditions.
What? Please, can you repeat?
No, can you go back to that conditions, the conditions which you showed in the add conditional column?
Yes. Okay. Okay. You want to see the steps.
Yeah, steps. Yes.
If you can go ahead and just see that this particular, open this particular select row added conditional columns. So you can just go ahead, just like profit orders, you can go ahead with this conditional columns. You can just give this name of this any particular name. Suppose you decided to go ahead furthermore about like this. For example, I can delete this particular things as well, or removing this profit. I can go ahead with the conditional columns. You can give this profit status, this column name. You can give this particular part as in which sorry, which columns you are going to selecting here. This is the important part. So which column you are going to selecting. Suppose profit per order I just taken equal to or greater than or equal to about, I can take as the 100 and I can say that's high profit. This is just output what it should be written, high profit. One more clause you have to add it about your profit orders. About suppose I can take some more values is the, I can take as the 50 or not 50. I can take as the 0. Is greater than 0, is greater than 0. If I will consider, I can consider as a profit. Let's say just and profit per is less than 0 or less than or equal to 0. That will be a better is less than or equal to 0. I can write it about here condition as the uh, less than or equal to. I can write as the loss. One more clause I can add it here, profit per order. I can uh, take the value as the greater than or equal to 50. And I can write here about like this values here about, for example, I can write some moderate profit. To add one more clause, profit per order is less than or equal to minus 50, moderate loss. That I'm just doing the lot of loss. Let's try it. Else if and I'm taking profit per order here is greater than or equal to 100. Okay, profit at loss, profit per order is less than or minus 100. Than or equal to high loss. I will go ahead and okay about this particular things. This is a else. I can write is other value, other anything, so any options you can give it. So it will come as in a pictures about this. So just see to it this particular, or if I will, if we go ahead, when none of the rules are made, specify an output value or reference another columns to output. So if you want to give it, you can give it. Otherwise, keep as it is. But I written about the other loss, something like that, for example. So let's I try it. You can see to that. Or in the profit status, what are the things? So loss and profit, only two things we are getting. Why it's two things we are getting here about like this? Because the conditions you can go ahead about, you can go ahead and check it about the conditions, because you written about that if chip profit order greater than 0, then it's a profit. Else less than 0, loss. So all the other conditions that's greater than 50, my less than minus 50, just like greater than 50 will directly comes in this particular first part, like the profit, because it's greater than 0. So the first, these two conditions are going to be utilized here. So that's why you are getting only two columns. That's profit and loss columns only. So just see to it that otherwise you will get confusions. I applied a lot of things, but only you are getting about just two things. You can see that you applied lot of operations here. But like the 50, when the 50 will comes, 50 is obviously by default greater than 0. So obviously it will fall in the profit. So no other moderate profit will comes in a picture. Else if profit order less than minus 50, less minus 50 is obviously it's going to be fall in this profit per order. So it will directly come in the loss. So that's why you will directly getting as the loss. And obviously the rest of the things is also you will get the things as well. So that's why only two particular columns you are getting here. So please take a note. It's very, very important. Like you should understand it about this, why we are getting. Again, I can remove it. This columns again, I can show you about this conditional columns. I can write it again. Please try it your end as well. It's a very simple profit status. You can give any name. So for example, I can take as the profit per order greater than or equal to, I can write as the 100. That's profit or high profit, high profit. So, and second, I can add one more clause is about the profit per order less than or equal to, that's 50. I can write the low profit or the less profit, low profit. And obviously this is I can give as the average profit. So please take a note and just perform the task. You can see that now this condition is you are getting properly here, and this is the way we are getting. So hope Pal Krishnan Rajgopal, you understand it,
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
guess.
sir. Got it. Got it. I'm
What
trying
about
other
the other?
examples also. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Sha Shanam Gumam, M. Siddharth, Grupriya, Vinosha, and the others also get the idea about how we can create the conditional columns as well. Nityanand, Rabina, uh, Avdesh, Vasudev, Vaishnavi. See, I remember. So just remember it, how we can perform it, and how we can do this conditional columns. Please at least just let me know about at your end that's it's working or not. Either chats or either you can speak up. So Avdesh Pathak, hope it's working at your end as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It went well.
So this is actually the thing is happening with this one columns because we selected with the one column here. Let's we have to proceed with the two columns as well.
Yeah, it's working at my end, sir, Dr. Javed.
Yeah, Dr. Javed.
It is working. It is fine.
Okay, fine. So this is without writing a single line of the codes you are reaching about why this Power BI, Tableau, or this Excel are very good tools for the data analysis because it's just a click and the button based applications or the tools we can apply the data analysis. So this is a very, very important tools. Please take a note and perform this task when it's required. Obviously, uh, in upcoming on the fifth day we are going to see about some dashboards and that part. So that time obviously I will take end-to-end creation of the dashboards on the fifth day. So please make sure it that time you will realize like how fast we can able to create the dashboards of any data sets or the dynamic dashboards we can create it. So we'll see in the upcoming session as well. So anyway, let's how to go ahead with the two columns here about. So, so let's with the two columns. So let's have to see first of all the column here, which columns I can take it. Okay, one is a customer first name. No, customer first name I cannot take it. Customer last name. Market is how many types of the markets is there? So market is how many Latin? That's too many types of the Lat markets is there. Customer city. Okay, fine. That is totally fine. So I will see with this market regions. Please take a note. One columns I will take as the market regions, or instead of this, I can take his market name, customer country, United States, customer ID. That's no, I can take as the market regions. So just like a LATAM, Pacific, Asia, USCA, Europe, and Africa. So this is something, or you can, or I can take as the name. For example, if I will take the name, here is gender column is not there. So anyway, you cannot go distinguish about whether it's female or male. So better I can take customer last name, Powers, Scene, Powers, Carol Ober, Mary Brown, Mary Atizadi, Mary O'Brien, category names, customer segment. Yeah, customer segment is there. Yes, we can go ahead with the customer segment because it's showing the three columns. So the consumers we can give as the C only, capital C or CON, and the corporator we can give as the COR, and home office is we can give as a HOM. So that we can acceptable with this particular part. So I will target with this. Okay. So this about this particular is, or instead of this, I can create one column fast. So that will be a very easily understandable. But there is be a similarity would be there. No? So that would be a very easiest way. For example, I can take the name here, name, one column, name, gender, marriage, status. Okay, so this three columns, so I can take as the common, Peter, Robert. I can take the randomly named Prem. Sorry if anyone name will come. I'm just taking them as Susie or Rita, Simran. P. So gender obviously M. Marital marriage status. We can write about the married, single, married, S M. So this is a one data set I taken it, so I can close this particular things. Can also create it randomly. That's no need to. I can share it. This is just for the understanding point of view I was taken. So I can just save is silly to take about this particular desktops. It testing some data. Testing column data. I just given the name of the testing column data. So done. So I close it. So I can go ahead in the home. This is my ETL. Obviously, you aware it how we can perform this all these things. So I need new sources, data Excel workbook. In the desktops, I have just a testing column data. So I can take this testing column data as well. Till that is also fine, we can do it. So the sheet, I can take it. So it's going to be this. This is my sheet. Name, gender, marriage status. I have not defined is here the column and all the things, but try to understand it. What happened actually, that's when I will take the prefix as the Mr. Miss about like this, like Pawan, Peter, Roberts, and gender when I will select it about like this, like male. So marriage status would be anything's about like it's a married or the single anything's. I will get that kind of an output. So this is the way we are going to perform it. So I can go ahead with the conditional columns here. So in the transform, I can add a columns. I can go ahead with the conditional column, and I'm selecting here the gender. Oh, sorry. So column 2, column 3 are not defined yet here. So column 3, just remember it. I have not defined it here, but so I can go ahead and perform it just a bit. column break. Delete it. The column home transform workbook stop and check it table 1 sheet 2. So I can take the sheet 2 here. Still why it's coming like this, just as a minute. Take this data. Name is the column. Gender is one more column. Marriage or marital status. I can rest it here. Accept. It's about your columns. You can go ahead. So very anyway, I can take this column too, and later I can go. Just a second, what happened with this problem? It's loaded. So this is column 1, column 2, column. This is coming or not. So column 1, column 2, column 3. We are getting. So I can rename here about this particular column. So I is taking to the name is the column. Second, I can take as the gender is the second columns. Third, I can take as the marriage status. So these are the 3 columns. Please take a note. In this, now I'm going with this particular add a columns, conditional columns, custom, let it be. I can take it as the gender and equals. Please take a note of that. This will be equal is obviously important. You need in equals. So obviously if I write as the M, as we have in the columns, you can see that MM or FF. So output, I can write it whenever the gender is equals to male, I can write as take it as a misters or output as the mister of this particular part. See to this particular part. Add a clause. I will have to do it here. So what it means actually, like when we have the column name, gender, operator is equals, and value is M. Output I will get as a mister. Similarly, else I'm taking with the two columns. Please take a note of that particular. It's not one column here. Here we taken with the profit order or profit value or something like that. Only one column basis we are going to define or create one conditional columns. So I just going to added one more clause here and taking with the marriage status. Please take a note of that. So this S. Okay. So I can take it this particular part as, and I can write equal here about S, and here I guess, for example, miss. Hold on. So what it means, what it will come as the and here in this particular part, I will write as the misters about this particular part. I can keep it. So I can give as the name of the prefix. This column name is I can give the prefix. So obviously I'm going to create here about this particular columns. So hopefully I will get the output here. Max to max I will get an error. That's the only things. So this particular should be closed. Please take a note. Okay, let's see to it that we are getting proper or not. So you can see that she is a married, Susie is married, and you are getting about this, and she is a first string, and as gender male, and it's a marriage, it's coming as a Mr. You can see the query, what query is here with the two column conditions, like was defines with gender and the Mr. As if it is S, then Miss, else Mrs. Mrs. and Morris. Written about like here. So this is the two conditions. So because you can do it, you can do it against here as well. Like for example, uh,
Can you hear me, sir?
can take two conditions about like for any particular like let's say to try with this particular part. Yes, I'm audible. Can hear
Sir,
you.
your voice is breaking, and I believe your screen is also stuck at conditional column window.
Okay, let me check again.
Is it happening for me only or for others as well? Can anyone
For others
confirm,
also.
please? Yes, sir.
I just stopped sharing. I just stopped sharing. Just wait 2 minutes. Just wait. Well, still the screen is freeze or it's visible.
Now it is visible.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, it might be the some internet connectivity issues by the. Please take a note of this particular part. Might be some internet connectivity issue would be happen here. So still voice is lagging, so I can turn off my camera. Let's see. While the turning off my camera, hope it will uh, be better of my from my voice. Now it's audible, Audish, properly. Okay. Okay. Let's. I can turn off my camera. Not an issue. Let's. We have to perform here. Forget it about like this category. That's customer name, first name, last name. Or I can take it any two other things, like one is the customer state is how many states it's going to be show here. Actually, the thinking is like I'm going to check it with the two, three things about order regions. There are a lot of order regions are as well. Okay, let's we have to go ahead with this particular part as the this order quantity. The quantity is also having 4 or 5 values. So obviously customer country. Yeah, customer country we can target one. And the one more things we can target as the customer or market regions. I can go ahead or customer segment. Each one we have to go ahead. Customer segment. No, this market region is also bigger and bigger. Customer consumers. Customer segment we can go ahead. Okay. So two things I can go ahead. First of all. So let's add a columns, conditional columns. I can go ahead. I can give this name the conditional column of this customer segment and customer country. This is something I just given the name. The first I can take as the customer country. Oh, customer country it was, right? Or let's we have to select with the customer segment or customer country is where. So customer country is there any options is equals to. Let's first of all I have to modify this particular customer country. United States and Puerto Rico. That's totally fine. That's custom kept as it is. So customer country, I can take it equals to United States. I think United States is written with what some spelling mistake is going to be happen here. I can write here about this. Puerto. This particular things I can write it, but it's not a capital or is capital. Puerto Rico. That's totally fine. Spelling is mistake is RTO Rico, and output I'm taking as the PR only. For example, this is for one. And one more things that's I can take the customer. The second one what I took with customer segment. I'll say customer segments equals I can take as the consumer. Right, CON. See this custom one I can apply it here. Already I explained with the prefix basis. That will be the understandable conditions, but you can do it here. For example, if I will go ahead, you can see it with that. So custom one column will come in a pictures about the only con and PR. Which particular things you can just go ahead and just see to it that PR and PR means Pareto ratio about that particular things, and con means consumers kind of a things. So you can see to it that this is the way also you can create it. Customer segment consumers we consider as a CON, and This particular part we consider as the Rico about this particular part. So later consumer or else null we consider as. So if the consumers is, then we have to write con, else the last value. If you are not going to define any specific things, it will consider as the null value about that particular places. So just remember it. This is a very, very important when we have the two columns. Earlier, we just selected about only one columns about that's the profit per order. We selected, and on the basis of we define the conditions, conditional, and here we selected the two columns. So just like similarly, we created about two things like name, gender, marital status or marriage status. So on the basis of the fourth columns, we generated the gender and marriage status. This are the two conditions you can see with that. So whether he's a married or not married, the male is going to be called as a Mr. So that's why we taken as that's the second is the gender about the marital status is if it's a single, we can call it as the Miss. Else it will consider as the MRS about that prefix. So this is the way we are getting about this particular output. So please take a note of that particular like the when we have the two columns, how we can operate it because it's very, very important. So this is very, very important. We required its conditional columns, two columns in Power BI query. Now let's one more things. I can go ahead and we'll have to see here. Hope my voice is audible now properly and screen is also visible with everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I can turn on my camera and let's see whether it's proper. So all of you are able to perform or not with two conditions. Okay, I will share with this file as well, so don't worry. It's the sheet 2. With the help of the WhatsApp, definitely I can share you. What about others, guys? You are able to perform the operations or not? So I think
Session. Hello. See,
yes, yes.
uh, you need to select two columns and then you need to perform this operation.
No,
Or,
no, no. No need to select any columns. Just try to understand. Let's I have to repeat it again so
because
that
for
you will
me,
understand. No, no, you are
consider.
not supposed to select any columns. You can
Okay.
directly go ahead and in the conditional columns, in the
Okay.
conditional columns, you can give the any name of that particular columns like prefix or anything.
Okay.
The column names you have to select it here. Don't go ahead and
Understood.
select at the starting part. No, just like
Okay.
gender, I will take as the equals and I will take as the M and I will write here as a Mr. Mr. Then again, I will take as a marital status equals to, I can write as the S, then it will be called as the Miss.
Fine. Fine.
And will write about here else. So I else if the person is a male, obviously he can whether he is a married or not married, he can called as the Mr. But a female who is going to be a single, so that's why in the marriage status it's written about the S and here written about the Miss. So for this particular things is going to be considered here is the MRS dot about. So definitely it will comes as this kind of an column. So just see to it. This
Yeah,
particular.
this I
So
got.
automatically you will
Yeah.
get it about like this Simran, who is the single marital status is written as a single. It's calculated as a miss, but for Rita, she is a married, it's written, it's coming as MRS dot.
Yeah. Fine. Fine.
Similarly,
I
the
got.
male, if you can see that all are whether it's a married or whether it's say they are single, it's considered as the Mr. That's the way we can utilize it. So that's why I taken this small data set so that you can get the better understanding for this particular part.
Yes, I got it. Got.
Okay. Yeah, someone more else also commented something. Uh, Anyone is there? Okay, let's we have to move ahead with the next one more part about like this. conditional column in Power BI, compare two columns, Power BI in Power BI. So that's very important part as well. So we are talking about the conditional columns and all the things. So that's why I'm discussing here. That's again, I'm going to create one more two things here about. So you can just go ahead and new groups, new query, recent and everything. You can create it directly here as well. So let's again, I'm going to the Excel one, two books as well for the understanding. So this blank data I can take as the I'm getting again. Again. So I can write here the customer and customer two. So I can write as the IBM, Wipro, LNT, Cognizant, HSBC, Kotak, Paytm. So randomly I'm taking Yahoo. That's Reliance. I can take it. Reliance. Sorry if any spelling mistake is going to happen here. Because sometime IBM, so LNT 9, Cognizant, HDBC, Paytm, and I guess the Google as it is. Google. Here I can write Yahoo. So if you can find out about this particular things, the customer one and customer two about this two things, just see to it that. So obviously the LNT, you will see the LNT 9 and HSBC. So HSBC, you can see to it that uh, HDBC in the two customers, one, two, and all the things. So I can take it, this particular part. Just giving one more thing, that's test to store it in my desktop, basically, so that easily I can get it. I'm closing this. Closing this two particular things, going with this home, new resources, Excel workbook in the desktop, test underscore two is my file. I can take it. Sheet one is the column one, column two is again, I'm getting the same things. What's the problem? Can you? Sheet one, the customers, I give this particular things as the customer one. This is customer two.
this particular things. And this is also, I can give this two name as this, but this particular thing is going to be not going to be renamed here. Column one, customer one, as it is. This is just a table rename. I just did it. Okay. So this is I just given about this customer one, two, and all the things. You can see that whatever the operations already you aware it, this particular part. We can move ahead and just like in Excel, we are doing about like comparing conditional columns, compare two columns. So this is small data sets about like HSBC, HDBC, then Yahoo, it's about like that, and LNT is LNT9, about like that. I can go ahead in the conditional columns. You can see that array columns and the conditional columns is given. So you can see to it that the name of the columns of both the things. Forget it. It's consider it's again a customer one. So I just given that's why the customer underscore one and customer underscore two. So in this particular things, I can go ahead with the customer underscore one, and you can see the argument equals to. I'm not going to giving one value only here about like this. I have to compare two columns. Instead of writing something, I'm going to click here. You can see that particular part. Yes, you can just see to it that it's a drop down button is here. Please take a note, enter a value or select a column. So please select a column. So when you select a column options, you can see that if column one's equal, so you have to select is equal to column one. That's customer one underscore one column. Please take a note of that. So customer two columns. Customer two columns. So whatever you want is output. For example, I can write as if it is the same, I can give this name as the same. Otherwise, it will consider as a different. Please take note of that. Here you can give any name of that particular columns. So you can see to it that it will come as the same or different about this. So the first is different. Obviously, the two things are different. IBM, Wipro. Here is you can see that LNT9, Cognizant same, HDBC different, Kotak same different. So this is just I want to show you about like values are same. It's showing as the same if values are different. So now I want to make a changes as well. Like it's a different, right? If it's a different is I'm getting. So, but I want to make a same that particular. So what I'm going to hear about, like you can see to it that this is the edit setting. You can go ahead in the edit setting. Please take a note. Now here you can see to it that. So first of all, I can remove this particular conditions and what I'm doing here and selecting a selected column. Just see to that. Again, I go. So when I will select as a customer one here, you can see to it that. So values are different. If value is different, so you will consider it's a zero. I'm writing here. The values are different if same values are customer one. So you can see with that. Also like this. So the customer one, customer two, you're getting a zero. So because values are different between the two customer one and customer two columns. And these are the same, so kept as it is same. Otherwise, it will come as a zero as it is. So this is wherever there is a value is zero, that means it's appearing the value as a zero. That means they're having the different values like the customer one, because we define the customer one's equal to customer two. But if the values are different, we are getting the result as the zero. But if the values are same, the same value will come as it is. So that is actually things we written about this particular things. So just see to it that column name customer one, operator is equal, value is you are taking as a customer 2's value, but you are defining the then output you have to write as a customer 1's. But if this condition is not satisfied, if any different value will come, so you have to write as the 0. So that's why you are getting a 0, 0, 0, 0 at this particular places. So hope everyone might getting the idea and understanding about this particular part, or still anyone having any doubts or queries. So just let me know about this. This is a very important, like many times we have to compare the two columns. You can quickly filter out and utilize this. But so just very, very important part. I just explain it. Still anyone having any things? So last example, I can go ahead and give you about the conditional columns. I hope all of you are able to create about your own this particular practical implementations at your end as well. That is, I expect it. That is, I can expect it. So I can go ahead and taking one more columns here about like this is the order date or something like that. Again, I can go ahead with my Excel. I can go ahead with the same Excel file. We can create with some multiple. That is a lot of Excel file is there. Go ahead with create with but some different. So can take it as the over here. 7 June 2020. So obviously you are getting about 7th to this particular part. I can take with the example as the date. This is just the last part of the last example, last conditional columns workflow on date examples or date examples. So I can go ahead and just save this particular part. So this is the dates I can give is more options. I can select because I need to select in the desktop so that it's very easy to open instead of going anywhere. So ETL1, this is again, you can go ahead with this new query directly. You can select with the Excel workbook, desktop, to dates. This file in use, obviously, yes, it's in use. So we have to close it. So dates. Simple sheet is there. Dates. We have even our old data sets. Order date. So 7 to 17th June. Suppose if a date is before 11th of June, so we have to see in Power Query. You want to give the name as the order date. And see that home, and you're just going to refresh it. Sometime it might be happening. So you have to refresh it if required it. So if the date is below 11th of June, it should be considered as the old date, and above 11th June, you can consider as the new date. So again, I can go ahead with the add a columns, conditional columns, order date. only one column is there. Is before or equal to. Please take it. You can see that small calendar item. But make sure about this particular things. It's properly. You have to select it. We are looking for the June 2020. So now we can go ahead with this. So I can select as the 11th June. Okay. So output is old date. So old date. I can write it's old date. Otherwise, what we can write it is a new date. So this would be the date status. Or I can give this date status. You can see that in the date status, you will see that particular part, new date and old date. Two things you can, so this all the things are required in when we have to perform about the analysis. If you can go ahead and just check it about the added conditional columns, or I can select it here as it is here. So this is done it. Now edit setting, you can see that in this particular, if I will come here today, suppose today's date, you can see to it that today's date I selected. What options you will get it? What will be the output? Can we get the output? So this multiple criteria you can add it. So obviously you will get it's what you are getting about like this particular all date. Suppose you are getting the all date and all the things about this particular because you selected about the current and all the things. So on the basis of the current date, obviously this all the dates are going to be considered as the old date only. So this is a very important part. You can write manually as well. So I can given this 11/06, otherwise new dates. You can select it according to your choice. So this is about these particular conditional columns, because if you go ahead and open in the conditional, these all are the particular. I just given this is before or equal to this before after this three things is we are using for this what I can say that for the dates purpose, this equals does not equal and I'm taking as the dates, you can see that equal does not equal is before and all the things we are getting for the date purposes. If any other columns should be there, just like, for example, if I will go ahead in the sales data, this is, I think, again, we have the order date. Okay. So conditional columns, if you go ahead and just take as the, I can take as the date status. For example, date status, if I will go ahead and order date, right? So order date columns, if I will select it, you can select it any. For example, anyway, let's first of all, we have to check the dates, how many things is available. So it's a 2017 data, I think. So we can consider any 2-3 categories, we can create it. Conditional columns, we can go ahead with the date, status, and the columns, I can go ahead with this order date. Order date equals to, or we can say that is after or is before or equal to, I can take as this 6/11. I can consider as the 06/11/2017. Since I'm taking as the 06/11/2017, considering as the old date, I'm considering, and obviously you can consider as the new date. Just this is for the example you can see with the old date and new date. A new column is created on the basis of the order date. So from 11/6/11/8 2017, it's this values is considered as a old, and the rest would be considered as the, if more conditions you are to add on, you can go ahead and just perform the more condition as well. Go ahead in this particular, for example, is equal or is before old date, if coming with this particular more order date, is after, or I can is after or equal to, or is after, I can take its, which are the dates are available. We'll have to, for example, randomly I can take as the 11, 12, 2017. One. So it's coming with this new part as this, you can see to it that. So 3 new date and the other conditions as well. So you can set up according to your conditions, whatever the conditions you required it, you can set up the conditions and you can utilize it. So hope you understand it, how we can perform it with this particular conditional columns on date. So this is very, very important because we saw with these columns matching or the columns value comparisons, we saw about this particular part. And we also saw about 2 things about like how we can go ahead with these 2 columns. With 1 columns also we saw. So just remember it. This is very, very important. This 4 conditional column concept is always very important. And many times it's required to go ahead and perform the operations as well. So just make sure that you have that good hands-on on this particular part, because it's an easy concept but required a good hands-on practice as well. So we can move ahead with the further part, what we can say that language in Power Query, write a simple encode in Power BI or Power Query. So this is very, very important part as well. Anyone having any questions regarding the conditional columns, please come on that. Otherwise, we can move ahead with the next part as the Power BI simple encode. As per the required syllabus, that's language, that's miscellaneous topic in Power Query, that's language in Power Query. So that is Power BI simple encode we are talking. And tomorrow we will see about the content different data in Power Pivot and introductions to DAX functions in Power Pivot and handle large data in Power Pivot. So these are all the things we'll have to see in the upcoming sessions. And this DAX and all the things, obviously for that day 5th, I will take directly as the, what I can say that I will take the 1 real-time data sets, and for that data sets, we will perform the operations as well. And for that data set will be the creation of the dashboards as well. So definitely we'll have to see the fancy charts and all slicer, filters, card and KPIs, everything you will get in and you will see them. So if there is no questions, definitely we can move ahead with these M queries. Okay, thank you, Adesh, for your response. Anyway, I'm moving ahead. Let's how to write a small M code in Power Queries. I will try to my best way to explain it in a very simple format. So in a Power Query, in the transform and the home, you can see that new sources, there is a blank query. You can see that there is a blank query option is available. So write a query from the scratch. You can just see to it that. So if I'm going to open this blank query, you can see to it that it's a completely FX or that particular things. You can see to it that whatever steps you want it, you can define it, and you can see to it that this particular applied steps, that's already I explained it. So you can just see to it that what I did, I just go ahead in the home and take it, selecting in the new source in the Power Query. I mean, still in the Power Query. Please take a note of that. I'm not using about this because These all are the operations we can call as the ETL operations. We are going to dealing with the playing with the data. These all the things are required because that Power BI work is very simple. You have to create the charts, the dashboards, and all the things with the help of the data. But the cleaning the data, analyzing the data, or that particular doing the data manipulations, playing with the columns, or if required to adjust with the columns, merging with the columns, different things we can do it. That is the major scenario is there. So for that particular reasons, I can always suggest like that this Power Query Editor is the powerhouse of the Power BI or even in Excel as well. So this powerhouse is very important. If your powerhouse is you are not capable to utilize the powerhouse of your Power BI or the Power Query Editor, you are not able to utilize properly. Definitely, you will face a lot of problems while doing the analysis and all the things. Obviously, in that particular part also, we will see about like measures and the calculations in the upcoming sessions as well. So this is just I taken about the one things from the scratch. You can see that query. There is a in home, you can see that there is an advanced editor. All of you can see that this is the advanced editors. So when I click on the advanced editors, you can see it with that. You can see that let source and in source. I can delete about this source and I can type as a simple. I want to addition of two numbers, a plus b equal to c. Like a is having some values, b is having some values. So I can write it about a is equal to 10, comma, enter b is equal to 20. And c is equal to, I can write as the, I can write as the a plus, so I can write, and the source also I can write it. If you are from a coding backgrounds and if you did a little bit codings during your study times or education times, it's very easy. This particular part is very easy as compared to the Python programming and as compared to the C programming or the Java programming. This M query is very easy in Power BI. So please take a note of that. And it's very simple, I can say that. So that is a C. You can just see to it that it's not zooming. Display options. What I did it. You're not from the coding background, then don't fear like that. It's a very difficult. It's a very easy. That's to write it. So the first step here, I just assign the values. The first step is I just assign that. In A variables, there is a 10 value. And in the B variable, there is again a 20 value. And I just written C is equal to A plus B. And in C, so let and in. Addition of two numbers like addition. So just see to let's final output I want in a C. So that means what let is that particular space or the area where you have to write your queries. And in after the in whatever you're writing means you are want the results. So in that's I written about the C. So whatever the operation is happening in the inside the let uh, body, that results I need in my C part. So this is a very important. Please take a note of that so that you will get the idea as well. So just see to it that it's very simple. ABC is already is step name. So when I done it, you can see that I'm getting the output as the C. If I will go ahead with the A, What's the A is, you can see to it here. A is a 10, B is 20, and C is, obviously C is the out. So in the C, when I click at the C, or if when A is a 10 value, B is having the 20, and C is 30. And it's a formula, you can see that C is equal to A plus B. So this is about the Power Query M language. See to it that. So again, I'm coming to the home tab and coming with the advanced editor here. You can see this particular part. Like I can write as the B is equal to 40, E is equal to 20. So just like I written about this particular lot of values here, just try to understand about D, 40, E20, lot of things I've just written about A10, B10, B20, but C, but output I will get as the only C. This others D and E is not going to be usable here. Still, I'm getting about, you can see it with that. So you can see to it that done it. Now I'm getting an error. What error I'm getting? Anyone can observe it? What error? Anyone? I'm audible or not?
So might be you didn't put comma after A plus B, like
And the
cannot proceed here.
B has a comma.
Yeah. So that means what actually we have to go ahead in the, I can go ahead in the advanced editor again, and I have to remove this comma. Then definitely, because after this particular part, the last steps, there will be a no comma because you're not writing any particular further steps. So that's why you have to go ahead with the done only. Definitely it will work it. So just see to it that. So this is a very, very important steps. You have to just remember it about this is something like when you write any codes, if you write a multiple things, you always need about like A comma, B comma, C, but the last value should not be come after the last value, there will be a no comma. So similarly, here in the operations, we written about like the A is equal to 10, then comma, B is equal to 20, comma, then C equal to A plus B. And after that, you return as the comma. So that's why you are getting the out error as this particular part as the some error. And that error is easily you can go ahead and find out it. So any functions, anything, so you can define it according to the customizations. Let's suppose I don't want the C output. I want just only the B or that particular things. I need, but I don't want to delete it. That's, it's not like that I have to close it. So again, I can go ahead in this particular advanced editor. So in, if I will write as the B, I will get the B output. So just see. So just try to understand about this particular stuff. This is a very, very important part. We are seeing here about like this. If you open it, you will see this particular part. You can write it here as well. It's not about like we have to go ahead about, like if I will go ahead with change about the 20, 12, if you will go ahead about write the 30, and here if you go ahead about the C, oh, sorry, that's in the in C, if you go ahead, You can see that output is the 40. You can write here as well. It's not about like we have to write always in particular advanced input, but that is the advanced editor is giving about like this all the things very properly or in a clear manner so we can write it. So just remember it. This is the applied steps of this particular part. If someone want only the output, so this in is for what whatever the output you want it. You can go ahead in the B, or if someone is saying that's I know this is the addition, but I need the output only the A. So what should I do? So you have to just write in A. Definitely the only A output will come. So this let body, this particular body is the operations body, but this in after the in whatever the output. Suppose if I will write in comma, you can try. Sorry. Uh, I can take the advanced editor. It's the problem. Suppose if both the things I will write it and done it, can we get the error? No. The error only is you will getting out the B. So this is because of this particular part. So just remember it's not possible about like we have to take about this output of A, B, C, or all this particular value. So this is important step. Please take a note and try to understand it.
So I have a one query here. Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes, what query?
So your voice is breaking again.
Yes, you are audible. What query you have?
Sir, actually, I just wanted to understand here. So in this advanced
I'm asking
editor,
what query you have.
yes, sir. In this advanced editor, can we perform any other operation rather than this mathematical operation, or just for mathematical operation we prefer advanced editor?
Anything. No, anything you can perform it.
So, sir, we might be having
Anything
functions
you can
and
perform it. It's not about only mathematical. And near about 900 plus M function. Yes, please go ahead with your question.
so your voice is breaking, so I couldn't understand your response.
You should go ahead with your question.
Yes, sir. So, sir, I was up to ask you about the functions. Do we have any functions or formula we use in this advanced editor?
Yeah, obviously we have a lot of functions. We will come to that particular part.
Okay, sir.
So this is just I just shown about like how we can write about this. I will come to that particular to there are 900 plus M functions in Power BI.
All right.
So yeah, so there is a lot of functions is available in Power BI. Definitely we will see it. We have to move ahead. This is just the first example I just presented, like how we can write it. So this is the fundamental way or the fundamentals so that we can understand it, how we can write. So, or what is the use of the let or inside the let, what we have to write it, or after the in, what we have to write. So,
Got it, sir.
see
Got
to,
it. Thank
yeah.
you.
So, yeah, we'll come to that particular example as well. We'll have to see that. So, we can move ahead with this. Next one is, so there are 900 plus M functions in Power BI. We have to see some trick like how we can get it about 900. It's very important. I'm just talking here right now. I can give some trick. Because remembering all the functions, 900 function is not an easy task. So I can give you some trick and ideas so that you can utilize that ideas and tricks so that you can remember it about to some 900 functions or M functions we can call as that particular things. Or this particular is known as the M language. I will come to that question as well, like why we are calling as the M language or the M coding in Power Query or in Power BI. I will come to that particular part. So, so this is already the queries done it here about like, again, I can go ahead and selecting about the blank query, one more blank query I selected here. This is one query already you aware it how we can write the functions. So no one will say that you are not aware like how you can you are not supposed to able to write the function and all the things. But I'm just talking here about like we have to see about some trick and ideas so that we can remember a lot of functions because remembering all the functions and mugging up all the functions or by hurting all the function is not the solutions. 900 is always a difficult. 900 plus, I just talk about like, so obviously this is query, this is a blank query. Equal to hash. I can write as the hash shared. Just see to it that what I written. Hope my screen is visible with everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is a view. I can go into this. So I just type equal to and equal to hash and shared. This is a simple line of the things. When I enter press my from my keyboards, it's something running or something dot 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 dot. You can see that list of many functions. You can see that Avdesh, your question was there like is there any functions or not? So obviously you can just take it from this particular functions. You can see to it that this is the functions. We are order date. That's the table query 42. That's this all the things sales data table. And this you will see that particular part as the app dot figures content and all the things. These all are the functions. See to it that here you can get the idea about this is a function. And whenever there is written about the function means it's a function. This is obviously the table we have the sales data, sheet 2, sheet 1, order date, query 1, query 2. These all are these not functions. Functions, you can see that value dot resource expressions about this is the functions. If you can go ahead and check it about like this, you can see that at the bottom of this particular part, 999 plus fields or this particular part, you can just see to run 999 plus fields are there. That means more than 900. I can consider 999. So you can go ahead and check it about this particular part. So you can see that a lot of functions are available. As you ask about any functions are there or not. So yes, there are functions are there. Obviously, we'll have to use it as well. Some function, but all the functions are available. Suppose if you go ahead and check it about any known functions. You can see the GitHub contents as well. We can see that this function as well. So this all the functions is available CL 0 and 1 protocol data Azures with obviously all functions we are not using every day or everyone, but sometime it is required when you work as a data analysis or data analyst part. So that time all the things. So then so you can see that. Now let's, if I will go ahead and convert into the table, let's, for example, so you can see that it's coming as in the table form. Hope everyone got it, what I did it. here about this operation. I just taken the blank query. In the blank query, I written equal to hash shared. And just when I press it enter, I will get all about the functions about 900 or whatever the things are given there. And I just convert it to table here about like this particular part. And we are getting about here to sequence LinkedIn learning contents is there. MariaDB contents, Mark Logic or DBC contents. I want to learn about the dates. I'm just interested in about the date functions. So, so this will give me the all these date functions in Power BI. Just see to it that how I can search it and how I can use it about like this particular part, order date, date is in previous day. These all are the functions of the date functions only you'll get. So 104 date functions are available. For example, if someone will come as and saying that I need a sum. So here printers, yeah. You can see that automatically only one thing is given coming is about like mean is there. And if the mean is not there, about like this sum is there. So list of sum about this particular thing, sum total or data feed about this particular function. So all the functions are available according to that you what the functions. So so you can say the date dot is in previous month. This is one function. Example. Suppose I'm not aware like how I can utilize it. I'm not aware like how I can use it. So if I will click on the blank space, don't click on the functions, just click on the blank functions. You can see to it that it indicates whether the given date time value date time occurs during the previous month as determined by the current date and time on the systems. Note that this function will return false when passed a value that occurs within the current month. Or you can just see to it that here as it is, what is the code is written. So obviously writing all the codes is always a difficult task. And this M functions or the M code about this is very, very important when we have to perform the analysis. Because in our curriculums, there is analysis is also there in a workshop. So we'll have to see about when we do about the data analysis. So let it be cancel it about this particular things. So it will come as date is indicates whether the given times enter a parameters. So functions example determine if the month's usage date is in previous month, date add month's date, fix local now -1 output as the true. So this is just I just presented about this particular part. So syntax is also given about like if any functions you have to come as this particular part about like date. You can see that date add date month name example date add days or date add days. For example, if I will come here, you can see that this is the syntax. You can see with that date 5 day date add days date when during 5. This is the usage that the output you will get here. This particular part. So how you can remember about the 900 plus functions? Same thing you can do also in Excel as well. About like this, if you are Excel users, I'm just showing this particular part. If you are, for example, the Excel users, whether you're working or not, you can go ahead, enable content. This is, I don't know what the problem I'm pressing data, get data. Uh, Other sources, blank query. You can go ahead in this particular part as well in Excel as well, and you can perform the task. Write about equal to hash shared. You will get the same things. Same things you will get it about in Excel as well. So just this is just optional. I just Power BI, we have these more functions. Please take a note of it. Otherwise, you will say that both the same. The command I'm saying because the 8847 fields or something. If you again write into tables, you will get it about this particular in the tables as well. So similar operations, but less functions we are getting here. So discard, I'm not looking. So without any help or without anyone's, you can learn the syntax of any functions whenever you have to utilize on any particular part or any particular way. Everyone get the idea about like how you can remember it about this particular function as well. So we have to try some M functions and we'll have that. Go ahead and taking about some basic text M functions. Just a second. Just a second. Mic is off actually, and I'm trying to speak up continuously. So
Nonetheless, you are audible, sir.
okay, fine. So let's we have to see some date functions or some date ISIN or these add and subtract or the day, month, week, year, and the text to basic about like that particular things. I can go ahead about this. So this particular functions, I will try to perform it here in front of you so that you will get the idea about how to use it. This is something let's we have the order date with us. For example, I can take is the order date. We have the as well. So in the Excel, I can go ahead with this taking what this data set as well. Order dates I can take as the order date we have. This is the Excel I think I've taken about this. Order taking with this new data 03, 01, 16. Something about like this is the is 34 Jan. That's fine. One more data I can take as the 0312, 0312, 2017. Something like that I can take it. One more data I can take as 25, 02, 2018. So I can take as this is a separate same data. 7 Feb 18 data is there. I can take 05, 05. You can also create your random. I'm just taking as the 2019. I'm taking the same or repeated date. 5 December or let's I can take as the 2502 2020. This is 11/06/2020. This is I can take as the 27/02/2021. This I just taken a randomly data here. So for example, this particular I can just creating here about this. For example, just for understanding purpose, I'm writing here about the years. Data should be in previous year, current year, example about this particular. We'll ask few more questions. I will also ask about like whether the data is in previous 10 years. That's in previous 3 years or previous 4 years or in the next 4 years or next 10 years. Next 10 years. So this is just for your understanding. I written about it. I will delete it once that particular things you understand it. So this is my data actually. That's order date. I'm going to upload this particular part as well. Yeah. Next 3 years or next previous years about like. So also one more uh, just see to it this particular part. So this is something I just return it. If you need it, you can keep this particular as it is. I just go ahead and perform this particular operations. This I can save it first of all. I can take one more data is here about This is I can give as the 2020 sum. Formatting. Okay, so the same format I can go ahead with this. Done it here about data file. Okay, let's I will share with this data file WhatsApp as well. February 27th, I take an IP. I will share with this data set as well. Just a second. To find this WhatsApp group as well, IDMI. That's I will share with. Just allow me 2 minutes. I will share with this test all this data. Let's find out this is you are receiving or not. Just check it. I just share this 3 data as well right now. So the others batches group also I'm going to share it. So just wait. Yeah, so I shared almost with all the groups. Please check it at your respective WhatsApp group. Let's have to share it again my screen. This is my data actually here. Let's we have to go ahead and just closing. Coming to the Power BI as well here. Ordered it. I can go ahead with the new query, Excel workbook, desktops, these or dates as well. You can select it according to your choice of this data. So sheet one. Problem. So just a second. I just not really clear about this particular test is data. This will get a problems. This is I can control X. It's the table. Save it. Close it. And in this Power Query editor as well. Source Excel workbook. Dates. Hopefully there is 2 sheets. We can see to it that sheet 1. So I can go ahead with the sheet 1. Please take a note of that. Let it be it's a null value or something like that. So totally it's fine. We have to see some functions here about Date table I can take it, or the name I can give is it's a order D. Also I can give the name. So in add columns, so there is a custom columns. You can see with that there is the M language we are using. So add columns, we can go ahead in the custom columns. Please take a note. This is all automatically generated. Custom column. So the custom column. So you can see that custom. You can see that this is a custom column formula is all the dates functions start from with the date. This is a shortcut. So for example, if I will write is the date, comma, you can see it with that date, comma. So and text function will start. If you can see to it that if I will write text, all the text function will start is. If I will write as the number, okay. So if I will write as the date, you will see this is the suggestions I'm getting here about like this particular part. And if you someone will writing about the text, he will getting about the text functions and all the things. Here, please take a note of this particular part. If someone will come as the write as the number, so it's like num. Sometime it is also not getting about like. So please make sure about like this particular whether you are getting or not. Or sometime maybe if I will close its custom column, the add columns, I can go ahead and write about the date. You can see that date, number, you can say number, ABS, ACN, ATN. These all are these functions. We can factorial, exponentials, all the functions are available. So just make sure it. And so if anyone is using the older version of the Power BI, you might not getting the suggestion list. So don't get confused. You have to update the Power BI from the officials of these Microsoft official store. That's a store which is available in your local system or the laptops. So you can just update it. Sometime with the update, you will get the suggestion as well. So please, or even in the newer version also you will that features is going to be decrypted. So that's also you will get it. So as I'm looking for the date, so I'm interested in the date. You can see that is in. So when I will write about like date is in P. So I will get the suggestions from the previous month. You can see that is in previous day, previous month, previous days, previous n months, n days, n quarters, n weeks, n years, quarter, previous week, previous years, whatever the P with the P part is here, it's you are getting about. This is I'm talking about date, not date time. Date time is a different things. Okay. So please try to understand about like. So I'm just writing date in previous year. I'm looking for the previous years. So you can see that previous year is going to be showing here or not. So you can see that date dot is in previous year. So I'm just this particular part. You can see that. So you can just open the bracket, this bracket. It's shown. And if you're really new to Power BI, how to write a functions, please, this is very, very important. You always look the documentations. You will see the date time as n. You can see that this particular part, please try to understand it. Indicates whether these dates occurs during the previous year as determined by the current date and time on the systems. Note this function will return false when passed a value that occurs within the current year. So this is very, very important. Please take a note. So the parameter is given date time. There is a in the right hand side, there is one more column that is called as the order date. You might seen about that particular things, which is present in your tables. That's order date. You can see to it that that's totally available. So I can just double click on my order date. You can see to it that double click, I just applied it. Don't apply the single click. And close that bracket, whichever you open it, that's the round bracket. We use it here. So please take a note. Yes, anyone want to say something? Could you please share this file? Yeah, I just share on WhatsApp. So don't worry about it. So if you just observe this one things, the whatever we return in the custom column dot for column formula, that's equal to date dot is in previous year order dates. Each alphabet of a letter is written as a capital, like date D is capital, is IS capital, in I is capital, previous P is capital, year Y is capital, order date or order in order O is capital, date D is capital. This is just for the remembering that sometime we have to do some mistakes, so we have to find like what mistake is its proper written. So we should always remember like in n functions whatever the things is written. So whenever you have to apply on any tables, like might be you have the questions earlier I use about the blank query, now I'm using the tables. So whenever in a particular table or in a particular data sets you want to apply about your M functions, you should always use the custom column. Custom column in a add column, go ahead and in a custom columns. And the custom column is something like where you have to utilize your M functions or whatever the Power Query functions are available. So the just click and that particular way you can all the suggestions is available. So just remember it about this particular. So hope till now everyone understand it. So I just using is in previous year order date. Tick mark, no syntax errors have been detected. You can see. Yes. So previous year, and I can give the question mark. The name of the columns. This is so no queries. Now when I will give it, see to it that this is my data. If you remember it, I'm just close my Excel. Like if it is in previous year, I will get the value as the uh, so I'm getting a false, 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 false. So I'm getting a false one. So why I'm getting about this particular part as these all the values I'm getting as these. Let's we have to anyway. Uh, in previous year order date about this particular things. So why I'm getting all the values of false? Anyone can comment it. Like do it one more times. So I can delete this particular part. Directly I'm deleting. I'm coming to my Excel as well. Just taking just dates. Otherwise you will get a confusions. So I just need to clean my clear your confusions. Today's date is about 27. Last year is what previous we taken is the year, no? 27 12 2020. Okay. This is one more things, and this is 12 08 2020. And even I can take is the next one as this. 2309 or 25092025 or this particular things, I can take it some more values, some big data as well. I think. So save it. I again apply this, save it. Again, I can go ahead in the Power Query. Just try to understand it. Why I'm again applying this particular things. Excel workbook in the desktop. Dates is my things. I will take the first sheet. Please follow the steps as well. So don't go ahead with the sheet 2 because sheet 2 is something just for the understanding point. I written it. So sheet 1. So this is your data. So first of all, I can go ahead and change by the column. Okay, keep it as it is. That's not an issue. Okay, this is I can write as a order date. Done it. This rename is done it here. So here you can go ahead and add a column and go ahead to custom columns. I can go write as the date is in previous year. Okay, is in previous year. Use the bracket, select it, insert here, or either do the double click. If you insert it, it will come as it is. Okay, and here I can write is in previous year. Yes, year. I can give just question marks. Previous year means current date is what? Please try to understand about this previous year. Where is gone is my question mark? Yeah, previous year. So when I click it, okay, false, 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 true. What I'm getting is true, and the rest of these things are false. Anyone, any idea? I'm audible or not?
Previous year is
Previous year.
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So according to the current dates, previous year is 23. Means 2023 is previous year, and like 2022, 2018, 2019, 2020 or 2017. These are not the previous year. These are the previous n years. If you are understanding what I written during the Excel sheet as well. And if you can go ahead about here about like this, any more functions about like here for custom columns. If I will go ahead about the let's first of all we have to find about the date. So is in month name is in year to date is in I can take it date is in date is in previous hour date time not to I'm just looking my date. So please take a note. I'm not looking for the date time. So date is in current year. Current year means this current year obviously. Current year not I can take current date is in current date. It's in current date is in previous. What I'm taking here. Please take a note of that particular. I'm taking order date here. From the order date, I'm selecting my main data. That's table. This complete no syntax errors are having. For example, if there is, so you can see that token expected show error. It will come as and showing you about the error as well. So this is the error you are getting here. So please take a note of that particular things. This is I can write is previous n years. This is I just given a question mark to this column as it is. Please take a note. And I'll define it. Oh my God, why error, why error, why error? Setting. I'm getting an error here. Please, anyone? that I'm changing about this is in next year. Just a second. In his next years is in next years. So date dot is dot next year. I can go ahead this particular called next year. Same thing. So order date. I guess this custom or something like next year. While you are getting an error, test. Just wait, I'm sharing this file. That's already, I think, shared in just 2, 3 dates. I modified it, not more than that. More modifications I did. It's properly written. So this table, that's where to edit setting again. System column. Time is indicating whether the date occurs next year as determined by the date and the system. So it's properly date is in next years, is in previous and months, is in previous year. Is in next year. Date dot is in next year. That's totally properly we return its data indicating system. We can take it. Yeah. So I think this particular the column name also false. We are getting here about only the true we are getting when it's about 2017 and all this particular things we are getting here about the output. So please take a note. I already shared the data of this, but still you people are asking to dates. So I can share it on date sheets I'm sharing. So please just go ahead and check it at your end as well. The data is already I shared it. So you can perform the similar task to your end as well. Similarly, you can go ahead and check with the custom date. I can write the custom one date. So date dot is in last in previous 3 years I'm looking about like so previous any years but previous any years but I'm looking for the order but this particular part as the order date. You can see that and I'm writing here about the comma 3. Please take a note of this particular part. So date something I missed it. So date you can just see the 2 times it's written. So sometimes it's like a pressing a tab or something, you will get the problems. It's WhatsApp group, ID my Power BI course. It's already shared it. I just shared it. Please check it. Your group IDMI data science is just shared with this. Sorry. Some okay. I can go ahead and share it in your groups. Check it now. I'm sharing with the dates. Definitely you will get it. So for date dot is in the data sets are very small data sets. You can create your own by as well. That's not a big data sets. We shared it only hardly 6 to 8 lines data or rows data set. That's already even I created in front of you. So I expect that you should also create it at your end because it's a very simple data. So obviously when we will create about the dashboards that time, obviously the bigger data set would be that data set should be shared. But these very small data sets, hardly 10 to 12 rows are there. Like you can see that 26 or something like that rows are there. So you can create it manually as well if you find it the ideas like how. So this is a date dot is in power. Sorry, is in previous n years. So n I define it here. So please take a note of that. For example, when I will go ahead with the custom one, so I will get false. So true where I'm getting. So it's is in previous n years. So 2022, because 2024 is the previous n years, yes. But this 16 is again going back more than 3. So that's why you are not getting about this particular for true or something like that particular. So just try to understand about this particular thing. So you want to need to do the addition. So the some place true, and the other places you are getting the false. Want only the true values, you can go at this. So it's last 3 years data. Last 3 years. Similarly, you can go ahead last 20 years data, you can apply it. And so this Power Query have this kind of a specialized functions. So Don't want to filters, you can close it, the filters if you want. Hope everyone might getting the idea about like current year. Similarly, years, month, work. Similarly, you can apply it because this is a very, very important. So see to it that this is the year wise we are talking. Similarly, the quarter, week, and day is also there. Like sheet, I can this is a years. This is similarly I can write as the quarter. Quarter. This is I can write as the month. This is I can write about this particular as the week. This is I can write about this particular day. That's obviously that's previous year. Similarly, you can write as the previous quarter. This is I can write as the previous month. This is I can write as the previous week, previous day. Similarly, for the other as is like the current year, you can write as the current quarter, current month, current week, current day. Similarly, next quarter, next month, next week, next day. Similarly, for the previous n is also is going to be applicable. Previous n quarter, years, next n years. Yes, n quarter. So this is similarly for you can apply for this also. You can see to it that how many functions are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 and 5. That's about the 25 functions. I can say that because the upper 3 and the lower 2. So 5, 5 are 25 functions are there. So we'll have to see some. So you can go ahead and put this. So again, I can go ahead. For example, I don't need this. You can delete it, this particular column as well. Again, I can go ahead the custom column here. So I can give the custom one or something like that as well. So please take a note of that particular thing. So custom columns, I can go ahead and just see about like date is in when you write about the P. So it will come as a previous. And obviously you can see that n quarters about like, so I can previous n quarters. So this is I just selected date is in previous quarter or n quarters about like this. So if I will open about this brackets, you can see with that. Obviously your order date will come in a pictures here. Order date will coming in a pictures, comma. So if I will write as the comma 5. So previous n quarters means 5 quarters. We can call this 5 quarters and just complete it round the bracket. If you go ahead and just apply it of this particular, okay. similarly, you can practice for this particular as well, or for the other as well, like current day, So just see to it that when I will OK it, you can see that. For example, again, I'm going about custom to date. You can set all 20 function about the dates. You can just like here, you can go ahead is the previous one. Next in month. Next and week, previous and weeks. Previous and days. And day. So just see to it this particular things and all this is available. You can go ahead and just perform this kind of an operations at your end as well. So this is something for your understanding purpose. I written it. Select with all the borders. Share this one so that this is you can consider as the columns or something like that. And highlight it with some blue color or something. So this is all the functions. We'll have to use it according to requirement and all the things. So you can see that previous year, this is the blue one. Keep as it is. So for the quarter, month, week, day, years, so this 5 and this 5. So 5 has a 25 functions are there. So with all the 25 functions, you can utilize it in this particular, just like I defined date is in, it is in, if you want to calculate previous to calculate next, you have to write
The screen seems to be frozen.
previous n. So you can see that n days, n months, n quarters, n week, n years. You can see that in front of you. If you are ahead and just in next screen not shared. Please check it again. Because I just reshare it. Still, screen is not visible.
No, sir.
Now the screen is blank, sir.
Just let me again reshare it. It's having a lot of issue. Now check it, please.
Yeah, now it is. Now it is there.
Not visible still.
Yes, now it is visible.
Okay, fine. So I just share one more data set here. Not one more, that's the same data set I shared it here. So this is just 25, just 3 to 4. I just already shown you in this particular. In next this particular things, you can see to it that this automatically are coming. So when I will write date is next years, weeks, about this particular part, you will automatically get about this particular things. So next n, if I will write next n days, n months. So please just do the practice for the next. Just like we saw about 2, 3 things, 2, 3 to 4, 5 functions already. We saw it here about like next weeks, n weeks. For example, next in if I will go ahead with this particular, for example, if I will take order date about this, comma, if I will write order 2 or 3, let's see whether we are getting or something or error. So custom.2, we are getting here about oops. Okay, actually, because it's being used by another one. Okay. So this Excel is open actually. So that's why I'm getting. So home, you can go ahead again and refresh it. So hopefully everything, yeah, custom.2, you can see that false, false, false. So obviously it's not available. That's why we are getting a false, 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 all the things. So just try to the others functions as well as at your end, so that tomorrow when we are going to meet, at least some doubts will come, like for some parts you are not completed. So please see to it that it's very, very important. Like this is the M functions, how we can utilize the M functions. This is the way only we can utilize the M functions. Please take a note. Like you might have like earlier the queries like how I can use the M functions or that particular part. Obviously, there is only way that we can go ahead like the customizable with the functions or the customize the custom columns. So in the add columns, you can go ahead. That's we saw about the add conditional columns and the custom columns. So this is a very, very important part. Custom functions or the custom columns about like this particular things. So this is just done it here. So I can just delete, delete means close. So I can go ahead with this particular name. You can give the name of the sheet as well if you want to give it. That's not an issue. Whatever the name you want, you can give it as well. So let's we have to see something like the add and subtract date and functions in Power BI. So I can go ahead with the custom column as it is. Custom columns I went into here in the customs. So you can see that date add. You can see the date add about this particular add days, add months, add quarters. So if you want to add 5 months, you can you want to add 5 days, so you can add days. If you want to add 5 months, you can use about the add months. Any month I'm talking about, not about only particular. For example, if I will take add days, if I will use this particular automatically date time is any number of days as numbers. Please take note of this. This is a very helpful things. And with the help of this, definitely you can perform the operations or the task. So like if I will go ahead about this particular things, I can go ahead about this. So order date, comma. If I will go ahead with the file, this particular. So there is no syntax. You can see the add days. For example, if I will go ahead, so you can see that this is how it's going to be coming in a picture. So 80116 about, or instead of this, if we can go ahead with this added columns, edit setting about this particular part, so that so as a person, for example, I need a month. So that will be a better one. So this is the add of the days. So date add months. For example, I will go ahead with this particular order date, comma 5. Right, if there's no syntax and error I'm getting here about this particular thing. And always take a help of this Power M functions. This is very, very important. Those who are completely new in Power BI, please take a note help of this particular part. It's a very easy to understand, like add a month, date, time as any, number of months as number. So just like here, if we take on this and I'm taking about the 5, you can go ahead about this particular as it is. So no syntax error has been. So you can give the name as the like just 5 months. I can give as the 5 months added about this particular. So it will come as the 5 months added, I think. Yeah. 5 months added. You can see that. See to it that this is a 301. Please take a note of this particular 301 2016. Now here you are getting 306. That means 5 months is added. Then 401, it's a 46. Got it, everyone? Hope everyone can see to it this particular part. So the 5 months is added in each particular row like this. It was the 03/2017. When you are going to add with the more 5 months, it will come in the month of these May. I think May. I think yes. May. I think so. It's 2018. You can see that fifth one I'm talking, or this particular fourth one I'm talking. 2018. Hope everyone getting the idea or still having any doubts about this. How do you add a subtract as well? Still screen is stuck or it's visible properly?
So it is okay, sir.
Just 5 more minutes I will take it. One more functions I have to see that subtracting. So the date functions we have to complete it. Add subtract functions. So it's a very easy and very useful functions. Please take a note. This particular. So this is just I apply the add of about the functions. If I will go ahead again in the custom column, just see to it that. In the custom columns, if I will write about the date, if I will go ahead and write about the date, so 5 months is subtracted, added here. Yes, we have to add years here. Date add years. I've been getting about this order date. For my 5. I'm taking as the 5 only here. And this is 5 years. You can see that. So it was a 03/16, the 5 years is added. You can just see with that so that you'll get the idea as well about this particular part. 5 years, 5 months, anything you can do it. So suppose if someone will say that subtract, I need to go ahead in the minus point as well. So the same things you can go ahead with the date, add date, years. I can go ahead years, this particular things. So order date, comma, here to write the -5, -5 again. So this is basically be known as the subtract. So just like what 5 years added, 5 years subtracted, 5 years subtracted, 5 years is subtracted as well. So you can see that still it's coming. So it's going to be subtracted from here. Huh? If someone will come and say that I need the subtractions from here, not here, I need the subtraction from the current one, or just you create it. So you can take this particular part, comma, so that specific column will be considered. Please take a note of that. So just see to it that 5 years subtracted. Sorry, this is not my original column. So obviously this was the column which I created. So just a second. Just a second. 8. add months, add years. Suppose if I will select this one, comma, -5, bracket completed. So you can see that 5 years added. So now it will what happen about this particular, this 5 year subtracted column will reach as it is about 0301. We have to check it. So see with that. The same things we are getting. This is in this 5 added and in this from 5 again subtracted years. So we are getting. So this is something as Avdesh you asked about, like how we can go ahead with this, supply this functions to your Power BI M uh, function. So this is the way you can apply it about your M queries or the M functions in the Power BI. So we just use about the about, I can say that some examples of the date functions. You can also use the text functions. You can also use the numbers function as well. So there are a lot of functions are available. You can use it according to your requirements, according to your ideas, and you have to numbers, like you have to use it. For example, if I will go ahead and just apply the custom functions about like the numbers, you can see that number echoes bitwise or uh, factorials, exponential from text. If you come as the text from here, so that's clean the text contains and ends with format from binary, infer number, insert length, lower, middle, new kid. So these all the inbuilt functions are available. Just one click and one buttons. You can uh, utilize it. So this is for all for today's sessions. Hope everyone get the idea about like how we can go ahead. Obviously, the inserting part is already you aware it, but the conditional columns, how we can set up in the Power BI or the Power Query. And then we saw about this 900 plus functions, how we can use it or how we can remember it and how we can utilize if we have any particular tables or any particular data sets, then how we can utilize that particular Power Query M function as well. So this is all about anyone having any queries or anything. So already I shared all the data sets. Please check it. If still it is not shared, just let me know, ping me. Definitely, I will share that data set as well. So this is all for today's sessions. We are going to meet tomorrow at the same times where we are going to discuss about these different data in Power Pivot, then DAX functions in Power Pivot, and then handle large data. So each point I'm covering here, please make sure that you should do some practice at your end as well. If you people are facing any kind of a doubts or the problems, always let me know during the sessions. This is your uh, uh, way of conversations. I can say that like you either you can comment just like whether the screen is visible or not. Some people are commenting they are performing, some are not. So I expect like all the people should go ahead and perform these operations, not only 4 to 5. There are total 25 people are in the workshops, and I am just seeing only 5 to 7 people's response. Like, so I expect all the crowd should respond during the whole session of the 3 hour sessions. Whether you are performing or not, please let me know. Uh, yeah, I think this particular part I already have, but I will share in the groups. Don't worry, this that's the IDMI whatever is coming. So I will share this particular part. So don't worry. So until now, that's the 3 sessions we learn about this, the distinguish differences, importance of the Power BI. Still told about the 5 reasons why the Power BI is important. Introductions to Power BI, the cleaning already we taken the data set, then simple charts, append queries in Power Query, merge queries, then get data in Power BI, conditional column in Power Queries, miscellaneous topics. Not miscellaneous, it's about the M topics or M query in Power Query language. So just remember it. This is about today's session. So just remember it. We'll meet in the next session and we'll discuss more in the upcoming session as well. So thank you so much, everyone, for your quite patience listening throughout the 3 hour sessions. We'll meet tomorrow's and we'll discuss more. Till that time, take care. Have a nice day. Have a nice day, Raj
You too.
Gopal. Have a nice
Thanks,
day,
sir.
everyone.
Thank you
Please
so
go
much.
ahead
Thank you.
and take care. Enjoy your weekends. Till that
Yeah,
time,
thank
take
you.
care.
Thank you.
sir.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you for your time, sir. Thank you.